Jam Friday. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the show. Hey, Denise. Hey, Tanya, Sandra, Henry, Deborah, Annette, Rosie, Pamela. What are you guys doing? We're slow jamming Friday. Hey, baby. My baby Shay's here. Hello, Pamela. Josie. Hey Barbara, how you doing? Welcome everybody in on YouTube and Facebook, Periscope. We're slow jamming Friday. Whoa! Oh yeah, we in the groove today. Come on. Oh yeah. All you people in the groove, come on. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ah yeah, let's do this. How you guys doing? Good to see you on the show today. We're slow jamming we're slow jamming Friday. We're chilling. It's a chill Friday. Good morning, Deborah. Please pray for Tanya's Adriana. You guys there on Facebook can read all the details about her. She's at the ER with some back pain, and she's 20 weeks pregnant. Needs our prayer today. Please lift that up. And so many people. Kelly Foster Senior's mom's having bypass now. She's 80 years old. Hey, Eva. Or Eve, excuse me. No, it's Eva. I'm sorry. My eyes. It's a little tiny writing far away. Todd Horner just got out of surgery. There's all kind of stuff going on. Susan Spurlock's dad having tests, so... Yeah, we're just slow jamming Friday. I tore my finger up yesterday. It's kind of amazing that I can actually play. Thank God it's not my middle finger. I couldn't even show you. Just kidding. How you guys doing? Are you guys ready for the weekend? Hey, Pauline. What's up, Bob? Bob's in here. Hey, Amanda. How are you guys doing? I see some other numbers on Periscope. I don't see names. I just saw Denise jump in. It's good to have you guys on. You know, we're the Vital Axiom. We're here every day at 11:30 a.m., Monday through Friday. Just a little singing, a little talking, just having some good time. We got a bunch of good friends that come hang out with us every day, and we just have a blast. Or at least I do. I don't know if everybody else does or not. And we've been talking this week about the journey. And you're planning a trip to Princeton. Wow, I'd like to go to Princeton and visit. Been a while. My wife gets, every time I go to Princeton, my wife says, "What are we doing?" I drive down all the streets and go, "This is where I did this. This is where I did that." She's like, "Really? It doesn't mean anything to me." She's nice. I don't mean that bad. Just. And hey, Unlib is here. Okay, guys, let's sing a little bit. You guys want to sing this song? This song's kind of getting a little bit. Let me see. I think my camera needs to be moved. There we go. It's kind of getting a little bit old. Somebody said to me the other day, "Great green screen." It's not a green screen. That's a real room back there. I could walk over there, but I'm not going to do it again. So you guys sing with me. This is a song that's been popular. It's not been done in a while. I don't think a lot of people are still doing it, but the message is still true. And on the couch. And the fair, you got to go to the fair. The fair's going on. Hey, we made the front page of the Coalfield, by the way. You guys need to check that out. Our church made the front page of the Coalfield. Our youth group talking about being out there at the fair. So you got to go check that out. See what's going on. Let's sing together. There's power in the name of Jesus. There's power in the name of Jesus. There's power in the name of Jesus to break every chain. There's power in the name of Jesus. There's power in the name of Jesus. There's power in the name of Jesus to break every chain. To break every chain. All sufficient sacrifice, so freely given, such a price, bought my redemption. Heaven's gates swing wide. All sufficient sacrifice, so freely given, such a price, bought my redemption. Heaven's gates swing wide. There's freedom in the name of Jesus. There's freedom in the name of Jesus. Yes, there is. There's freedom in the name of Jesus to break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. Oh, there's freedom in the name. Oh, freedom. There's freedom in the name of Jesus. Whoa, to break every chain, break every chain, break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. There's an army that's rising up. There's an army rising up. Raise up your church, oh God. There's an army rising up. Break every chain. There's an army rising up. There's an army rising up. There's an army rising up. every chain. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter what's binding you. He'll break every chain and set you free. There's still power in the blood. There's still power in the blood. There's freedom in the name of Jesus. There's freedom in the name of Jesus. Oh, He'll break every chain. I don't know if you've experienced that in your life, but I have. I've experienced the chain-breaking power of the Lord, and I just know that whatever's going on in your life today, it doesn't matter what it is, if you'll really turn it over to God, I mean, for real, and that's what we're really talking about, really commit your journey to God, you're going to see a transformation in your life. That's what God does. And sorry, that's my phone dinging or something going off over here. Hey, let's talk a little bit about the journey. We've been talking this week out of Psalms. Let me change my screen over here to the page where all my notes are. Let's talk a little bit about, as we wrap up day 5. Sorry, we wrap up day 5 talking about the journey. The whole passage has been taken from Psalms 37, verse 5. And actually, I'm going to read 3 verses for you today. Hey, Tammy. And as we talk about, hey, Tina, as we talk about this whole thing about committing our whole journey to God, the whole deal. And here's what it says in Psalms 35:7. Commit thy way unto the Lord. That's step 1. Well, it's actually 2 steps. Commit your way. Because some people want to commit, we said earlier, they want to commit some things, but not all things. But literally, your way means your journey. So everything. Commit your way to the Lord. And then trust in Him. You know, we said, what's the point of having a GPS you don't pay attention to? If you're arguing with Siri, I'm not going to do that, then why do you even use Siri? Hey, Zuby, what's up? And so commit your way to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. What is it to pass? Well, that means He will be active in your life. You look at different versions of the Bible, it means that God will be active. He'll bring to pass the promises. He'll bring to pass the calling, whatever it is in your life. So let me read it again. Psalm 37:5. Commit your way to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. Verse 6, though, look at this. Sorry. He'll validate you. He'll validate you. I love that. I love that thought. God will validate your life in the clear light of day and stamp you with an approval at high noon. What does that mean? Commit your journey, trust in God. He will validate you in the clear light of the day, and He will stamp you with an approval at high noon. I mean, I know that we don't necessarily understand what that really means, but it literally says that God's approval, His grace will be manifest in your life in front of everybody. So commit your way, your journey, roll up your whole journey to God, say, God, here it is, roll it all in. Trust also in Him. He'll begin to bring it to pass in your life. And when He does that, He'll validate your life in the clear light of day. In other words, your testimony will become vibrant and clear. He'll stamp you with approval at high noon. Then it goes on to say this. I want you to think about this as we close today's broadcast. Psalms 37:7. Quiet down before God. Be prayerful before Him. Don't bother with those who climb the ladder, who elbow their way to the top. So let's just kind of wrap up. And Bob's asking for a prayer for Catherine. And she has a nodule found in one of her lungs. Needs our prayer today. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Earl, what's up? So let's kind of wrap up the thoughts today. The thought about, let's talk about God moving in your life. How many of you, I think all of us want God to move in our life. I mean, I think that's kind of a normal thing to say, I want God to move, but we don't understand the process. and how we can affect that, how we can free God to move in our life, or we can hinder God from moving in our life. You say, well, I don't have the power to free or hinder God. Actually, you do, because he gave it to you. That's the key. God is all power, so he gives what power he desires, and he gave you the power of choice, of freedom, of liberty to do whatever you want to do. And if you want to go get stoned, if you want to run around and live some kind of sexual life, if you want to become gender, whatever, if you want to do any of those things, God allows you to do that. You can do that. But there's consequences, of course, on the good and the bad side. If you follow God, if you commit your life to him, you really commit everything, not just church, not just your sin, not just your bad stuff, your pain. You commit your whole journey to God and trust him with it, follow his GPS, then you free God's hands to be active in your life. Yeah, I sat with a lady yesterday, very nice lady, talking about how she doesn't go to church and she really ought to be, and all. She's giving me this list of reasons why, but God's still moving in her life, and I want to go, well, I'm not sure that's scripturally accurate. We know that, for example, let's talk about Israel. When Israel moved away from God and began to do other things, they said, God, we'll do our religion, but we're not committing our lives to you. We're gonna worship Baal. We're gonna mess around with these Asherah poles and this god of fertility. All these, then calamity came upon them. But when they repented and called upon God, deliverance came. I want you to see that today and how important it is. Commit your way to God. Commit your way to God. Trust in him, and he'll bring it to pass. Trust also in him. Today, I want you to think about that. Hey, Jim, I want you to think about your journey, this journey you're on. How much of it, if we could write it down, let's do it. Let's write down a percentage. What percentage of your journey would you say is absolutely committed to God? Or maybe I should ask it this way. What percentage isn't? Tell me the areas. Don't tell me. Don't post it or anything. But tell yourself, let's talk about the areas of your life that God has no business in, and you definitely never let God venture in. I remember one time there was the Christian comedian guys that put out records, these round things they used to make out of vinyl, and they were hilarious. I can't think of their name right now. It'll come to me in a minute. And they did this thing called Thrones, and Jesus comes to the door of a guy's house, and the guy invites him in, and this is right. And then Jesus goes, hey, I've never been in this closet, and he says, no, don't open that door, don't open that door. And when he does, all these thrones fall out. And the Lord says, well, what is all this? And it was the areas of his life that God didn't have any business in. God obviously has business in every area, but we don't allow it because he's given us the power to reject or accept, to say, okay, God, I'll let you in my relationships. Yes, God, I'll let you in my habits. God, I'll let you in what I watch, where I listen to, how I talk, who I talk to. I'll let you in all those things. Commit your journey, and the result is the activity of God in your life will increase at an exponential level. And I want you to get that. Why is that? Why do I care? Because I want you to see God move in your life, in your family. And I said earlier in the week, there is no such thing as a partial pledge. Partial pledge where have you ever, see, did y'all ever sing this at church? We sang it the first day of the week. Oh, I surrender some. A little reverb. I surrender some of my life to you, my Savior. I surrender some of it, but not all of it. You never went to church, they never sang that. They never did. Why? Because you're supposed to surrender all. Hey, Jill, I saw something about spiders and stuff. I didn't get to read it all. Good morning, Dylan. I surrender some. And that's your problem. That's your problem right there. You're saying, where is God? And God is waiting for you to surrender your life to him. Not just your pain, not just your sin, not just your trouble, but everything in your life. Give it to God. Give it to God. And then it says, Psalms 37:5 for those of you that just got in here. And then it says, trust also in him. The reality of it is surrendering your life to God is really not even a reality without trust. It's like we talked about Siri all week and how you get in your phone and say, Siri, take me to 111 whatever street. And she says, okay, in 200 yards, take the next exit. And you go, no, what's the point? You're not going to make it to that destination because you're not listening. And I think the reality for us is commit our way, give everything to God, and then trust him to lead you and guide you, and then you're going to see his activity. And the last thing is you're going to see his activity. which to me means if you don't commit your whole way and you don't trust God, you probably won't see God activity. And the activity you might see would be God trying to convince you to commit your whole way to God and trust him. Is that what God's dealing with you about today? Is God dealing with you about committing your way and trusting? Is that the activity in your life, or is activity moving in your life? Exponential. Now that's a frequently spoken, that's a frequently spoken word in our house. Oh, it is exponential. Well, that sounds like an exponential household. Well, guys, I want you to think about that today as you look into your weekend. I know most of you plan on committing Sunday morning for an hour and a half or so. Depends on what church you go to. 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the kind of church you go to. I know you're committing part of that to the Lord. But I want you to think about tomorrow or this evening. What are you watching? What are you thinking? What are you saying? You want God active in your life. Number one, commit your way to him. Number two, trust. Trust him. Yeah, amen. Move, Spirit, move in my life. Make me what you want me to be. That's what Sandra says. Good to have you guys on the show. Thanks for your comments. We're always glad to see you guys. We love you. We have a lot of fun hanging out. We're going to leave here slow jamming Friday as we go. Thanks for all your comments. You guys are always awesome. Bless you, Deborah. You guys have a great weekend. Tim and Charlie are in town from down in Florida. I get to see them, so we're going to hang out. Let's slow jam it out. Ready? Slow jamming Friday. Slow jamming Friday. Slow jamming Friday as we go. I'll do it, Earl. Thanks, Teresa. God bless you. Thank you guys for all your comments. You can rewatch, Brian. You guys don't forget about Thunderclap. Go help me out. Let's advertise the show, man. And also, let me just say, follow us on Facebook. Slow jamming Friday as we go. We say, have a great day.